Well, I'm here with Sir Richard Alston, whose company won the Steph Stefano Award for Outstanding Company. Congratulations, Richard, very well deserved. But of course, the company that bore your name is sadly no longer with us. So I wondered if you could tell the audience a little bit about what Richard Alston is doing in the future.
Okay. Of course, it was quite extraordinary that our final edition turned out to be the final performances at Sadler's Wells before Sadler's Wells closed. And we were all in a very mixed feelings on that night, but still a lot of excitement and a lot of very good feeling and a very, very strong desire to hug each other. And we had no idea what was going to hit England so soon. And so it was quite extraordinary when literally a matter of days later, because I'm over 70, I was sent home. I was sent home from the place and I found myself locked down. And then it just became more and more serious. And so all my wonderful thoughts about moving on and finding a way of working that was different had to be put on hold. There was no point in writing to companies that were struggling to exist. Let alone in America, where there's a lot of interest in my work from the audiences and so on. We toured there. But I just had to put the whole thing on hold, and it was quite difficult. It was a difficult year. And I suddenly woke up one morning and thought, well, I didn't think I was going to retire, but I am retired for the time being. And so that's why this award has been so important to me. It really has. And what's begun to happen is that after months and months of looking at a great deal of dance on YouTube and having time to reflect and think, requests began to come in. I've always had this connection with New York Theatre Ballet. I reworked a piece called Fingerprint, which I did in 2007, and gave it a new title and reworked it for them in an amazing series of performances they did with an audience of 10, everyone in marked huddles and with screens in between, but it meant that the dancers got to perform, literally in a studio in St. Mark's in the Bowery. Very, very entrepreneurial director of that company, and she really did something good. So that was my first foray into dance. I made a piece for some students via Zoom. I find Zoom really hard because I use changes of direction so much and they're so hard to describe. And you can't really see space on Zoom. And then my heart lifted when I got to do a project for the Rambert School, and they had amazingly arranged things in such a way they'd looked after their students, and they were able to be in the studio with me. They were masked, I was masked, and they were in huddles. I had two different casts. I had to run from room to room. I wasn't ever allowed to have the same dancers in the same room. But it was just so uplifting. It was so extraordinary. So now I feel ready to go. I feel back in the world that I love, to be with the people that I love, with young dancers, and in that, of course, being careful, but still, it's a time now of promise at last, after months and months of not knowing what was going on.
One of the silver linings, if you like, about the lockdown, I guess, is that it gives you time, which as a busy choreographer running a company you probably didn't have. So have you used that time to think of new ideas, get new inspirations? I know you're a great lover of music. Have you found any new music to inspire you to make dance with?
Well, it was dance that I was watching mostly on YouTube, things which I had never ever thought of watching before. I became very intrigued by looking at all sorts of things. I mean, it was extraordinary this spring to be able to watch symphonic variations as many times as I liked, streamed from the Royal Opera House. Thank you very much. It was like a great inspiration to be able to see it so in my own time and just looking at this favorite and inspiring piece. That was wonderful. But also we put together with Pierre Tapon, who had danced for me for a long time and who's very keen on all things video and computer, and he put together a website for me. And I realized how many really good edited and finished videos there were of works that I'd done. And so I was actually learning by looking at my own work and thinking, oh, that's not bad, that's all right. And I know that sounds rather disingenuous, but I'm one of those artists, many of us, who just push on. The next one will be better. The next one will be better. It's been, in a way, a great moment of reflection to look back and say, well, that wasn't very good, but that, I think that another company could do that wonderfully. So it was those kind of thoughts that really kept me occupied.
Wonderful. So there's an archive of Richard Alston works, but actually, with congratulations for winning this award, Richard, we really look forward to the next batch of choreography that you're going to make. That's the exciting thing. So well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well deserved.
Thank you very much.